Okay, awesome. Morning again, everyone. So we're going to get started again, just as a reminder, what you will need for this lesson: calculator, some paper, and a writing utensil, a pen preferably. Just also good morning to my moderators, Mrs. Brown Hall, as well as Mr. Tinker. And we also have another moderator, so they're going to be able to answer all of your questions. I'm also going to try to answer them live. Let's get started. So today, we're going to focus on past BGCSE questions on hire purchase. I know in our last session, I think it was Star Knowles that had asked for more examples, and so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you questions, give you an opportunity to work the question, and then we'll work them together. Our objective for today: by the end of the lesson, students will be able to solve BGCSE past paper questions involving hire purchase. So we're going to remind ourselves what hire purchase is about by watching this short video.
Hire purchase, or HP, is one of a number of finance products available to car buyers, which allows you to spread the cost of the car over a period of time. It's ideal for buyers who want to own the car outright at the end of their finance contract. Just like a mobile phone contract, you'll typically pay an initial deposit towards the car, and the finance lender will loan you the remaining amount with added interest charges, which you'll then pay back in monthly instalments over an agreed period, normally between 3 to 5 years. Due to the interest, you'll normally end up paying back more than you borrowed. With hire purchase, the interest rates and monthly payments are usually fixed for the duration of your finance contract, making it easier for you to manage your outgoings. The deposit and the length of the contract can usually be adjusted to help you find the monthly payment that fits your ideal budget. And because the vehicle usually acts as a security for the finance agreement, other forms of credit will remain available to you, such as credit cards, subject to your credit status. Most car finance agreements are secured against the car, so if for any reason you're unable to keep up with your monthly payments, the finance lender will only take back the car and your assets won't be at risk. A hire purchase agreement can also be settled at any time, normally without you having to pay any fees if you decide to pay it off early, although you should always check this with the dealership you hold the finance agreement with. At the end of your agreement, you'll own the vehicle and can do whatever you like with it. Watch our other videos on the various types of finance available to you.
Okay, awesome. So again, let's remind ourselves to the steps to working through a hire purchase problem. Oftentimes, you're going to have to find the deposit if it's not been already given to you. Then you're going to have to find the total monthly payments. And finally, you end by finding the total hire purchase price. As was brought out in the video, the hire purchase price is usually going to be, or typically, it's more than the cash price. All right. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to display a question. I'll read through it. Then I'll give you 10 minutes to attempt the question on your own. And I'm going to pause and give you a full 10 minutes. And then we'll do it together. So here's the question. Again, this is a BGCSE question, a question you could potentially see, or something very similar when you sit your exam. It says, Mrs. Cook bought a microwave on hire purchase. The cash price was $297.80. She paid a deposit of 15% deposit, followed by 12 monthly payments of $24,890 per month. Calculate A, the amount of the deposit, B, the total amount of the monthly payments, C, the hire purchase price on the microwave, and D, the amount saved by paying cash. So you have 10 minutes. Go ahead and begin the question. While you work it, I'm going to highlight some pieces of information that I think are important in the question. So like we know the cash price is important. The amount of the deposit is also important. And then this part about the 12 monthly payments. And what I like about these questions, specifically hire purchase, for the most part, they're straightforward. Find the deposit. The total monthly payments are also pretty straightforward to find, and the hire purchase price is just putting the two together. So if I'm not mistaken, this question comes from the 2004 Paper 2 exam. And hire purchase can come either on Paper 1 or Paper 2. So you have to be prepared in any event. Oh, I see some questions in the Q&A, so let me look at those. Oh, this Tristan Smith is on the money, man. So we're going to, let me check your time. You have about 3 minutes left. I'm glad to see that some persons have completed the question. Everyone else, you have about 3 minutes to finish it off. Now, Tristan, I do notice a slight error with one of your answers. So can you go back and check them for me, please? I see Daniel also put an answer for A and B and C. I don't know, these numbers are slightly off. So in the next 2 minutes, just check over your work. Make sure, check over. And then we'll do it together. But Tristan, I need you to check your C and D. Daniel, I also need you to check your B and C for the answers that you would have posted. Alrighty, let's move on. I see Brene also put up an answer for A. We're going to move on. Now let's work through the question. Everyone should have attempted some part of it and have some answer. So again, just to read through it, Mrs. Cook brought a microwave on hire purchase. The cash price was $297.80. She paid a 15% deposit, followed by 12 monthly payments of $24.90 per month. Calculate A, the amount of the deposit. Well, I'm going to look at what part of the question speaks to the deposit. And I know it's this part here that says 15% deposit, which will be calculated on the cash price. So I'm going to work that part first. And I'm going to say $297. Oh, let me move that. That's my point. Alrighty. $297.80 times 15%. Once I put that into my calculator, as was said in the chat by a few persons, congratulations if you got it, 44.67. 44.67. If you got this so far, good job. Now let's move on to the next part of the question. Part B asks me to calculate the total monthly payments. I know that the total monthly payments are going to be $24.90. And since she has to pay them off for 12 months, I'm going to multiply by 12. When I do that, her total monthly payments are going to be $298.80. All right, so let's look at what we know so far. We know that her deposit was $44.67 and her total monthly payments were $298.80. So to find her higher purchase price, part C, I add them both together. So I'm going to add $44.67 plus $298.80. So her total higher purchase price is going to be $343.47. $343.47. All right, if you didn't get that, please check your working and make corrections. And then to finish up, to answer the last part of the question, how much money can be saved by paying cash? And remember, it's always going to be cheaper or more cost effective to pay cash, but sometimes that's not an option. So to find the difference, we take our higher purchase price, which was $343.47, and subtract from that the cash price, $297.80. And so if she had paid cash, she would have saved a total of $45.67. I see Mr. Tinker is also putting some working in the chat in case you need to go over what I would have missed, or, if I move too quickly. So let's look at our second question. It says, and again, this is another question from the BGCSE. Speedy Wheels advertises the following special on a used car for $8,500. They tell me that the term payment plan consists of a 20% deposit plus 18 monthly payments of $505. So they give you 4 things to calculate. A, the amount of the deposit. B, the total monthly payments. C, the total cost on the term payment plan. And then D, the difference between the cash price and the amount paid using the term payment plan. All right, so 10 minutes was too long last time, so I'm going to give you a shorter time. Go ahead and work through the question. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I did see some responses in the group. I see some persons also posting them in the chat. So let's confirm your responses. I start by working on the amounts of the deposit. And I want to show you another way that you can work this question. Because what I have been doing so far, I have been saying 8,500, times 20%. And for the most part, I use the percent button on my calculator. But what if you don't know how to find that as easily or as readily? You can also rewrite it as a decimal. We can rewrite 20% as a decimal, so I'm going to put or. 8,500. And I know to turn it into a decimal, I just divide by 100. So 8,500 times 0.20. And these two mean the same thing. 20% written as a decimal becomes 0.20. Once I put that into my calculator, my deposit price is $1,700. And so in real life, what that means is if I want to walk off that car lot with that car, I have to come with at least $1,700 to pay for that car. Right? Now let's move on to part, and I love the responses I'm seeing in the group chats, or in the chat, I should say. Let's move on to B now. B asked me to find the total monthly payments. Remember now, to find the total monthly payments, I take the amount I pay each month and multiply by the amount of months I have to pay. So if I'm paying $505 for 18 months, here's my working. And I put that into my calculator. In total, my monthly payments are going to be $9,090. So far, let's review what we know. We know that the deposit is $1,700. The total monthly payments are $9,090. So C is going to ask me now to find the total hire purchase price. We know that the higher purchase price is always going to be the deposit plus the total monthly payments. And this year, this question actually gave you a clue to that, because they told you that it's the deposit plus the 18 monthly payments. So let's add those two together. We have $1,700 plus $9,090. When I add them together, my total hire purchase price, or the term payment plan in this case, is going to be $10,790. And we can see that this is a good bit more than just paying cash. But again, some persons don't have the option to just pay cash outright. And so the hire purchase plan, the financing plan, would be better for them. Let's finish it off by looking at D. D says the difference between the cash price and the amount paid using the term payment plan. So I know my term payment plan was $10,790, and I'm going to subtract from that $8,500. So I can actually save $2,290 if I pay cash. But for some persons, they can't afford that, and so they have to use the higher purchase plan, and that's okay. Alrighty, let's look at another question. I'm not going to read it. You're going to go ahead and get started. And yes, awesome job to those persons that are answering in the chat as well as the Q&A. Really good job, guys. Oh, I'm sorry. I know you can't see it. Let me just... This question is a bit different, but I still think that you can handle it. You have to remember what the word balance means. Balance is what's left after I pay my deposit. Yes, Tatiana is correct. The question is a bit different. It requires you to think a little bit differently. All right, so you have about 2 more minutes. Awesome, Tatiana. I see you saying you got it. A is $18,000 from someone in the Q&A. I would ask you to go ahead and check that, my anonymous attendee. So it says Maria bought a 5-piece furniture set for $21.50. And then they also tell me things like she made a down payment of $750 and obtained a loan from the bank for the balance. So I'm going to work on finding the balance. Here's what I know. I know that she paid, the original bill was $20.50 and she paid $750. And so for me to find her balance, I need to subtract. And when I do my subtraction, her balance is going to be equal to $1,400. All right, that's her balance. Now let's go ahead and work on the next part of the question. All right, so let me go back to my texts. All right, that was part A. Let's look at part B now. They say to me, part B, after 2 years of equal monthly payments, she repaid the bank $1,680. How much interest does she pay? Let's focus on what they mean by interest. You know, usually when you make a loan or you borrow some money, you have to pay an additional amount back. That's interest. And so we know that she borrowed $1,400. But the question tells me that she repaid $1,680. So she had to pay back a little bit more than she borrowed. What she paid back was $1,680, but she borrowed $1,400. So that extra had to be considered interest. And so I'm going to subtract to find out how much interest she paid. Her interest was equal to, when I subtract, $280. Part C. Part C asks me to tell how or what was her monthly payments. Well, let's look at how long it took her to pay this loan off. They tell me 2 years, but the question didn't ask me about years. They're asking me about monthly payments. So I need to know 2 years equal to how many months. I can find that easily by multiplying 12, since there are 12 months in a year, times 2. 12 times 2, when I multiply it out, that's going to give me 24 months. So she had been paying this amount, how much ever it is, for 24 months. So we're going to find out. And so she paid $1,680 equally over the 12 months. So I'm going to do $1,680 divided by 24. And when I divide that out, my answer is going to be $70. So we know that for each month, for 24 months, she paid $70 until she had finished paying off her balance. Now, final part of the question, part D. What was the total amount paid for the furniture? Well, we know when we go back to the hire purchase plan, the total amount is always going to be the deposit plus the total monthly payments. So her deposit in the question told me was $750 plus her total monthly payments, which were $1,680. And so her total amount paid for the furniture when I work it out is $2,430. Just checking in the Q&A. So I see my anonymous attendee says, oh, okay, so I guess they figured out what they did wrong, where the mistake was. Again, if you made any mistakes, go ahead and just make your corrections now, please. And we're going to look at one more question before we end this session today. All right, so that's the final question for today. Go ahead and work through it for me, please. And I see some responses in the Q&A section already. Make sure we're putting in our commas, decimal points. Thank you, Indira. I'm gonna give you a few more minutes to work through it. Okay, so I'm gonna give you another minute. I see, oh no, the anonymous attendee. I wish you would put your name. I think this person just about finished the question. Bernardo Thomas is also working through it quite well. Gabriel Mackey, your response looks good so far. Okay, these answers look awesome. So I'm just going to give you another minute to finish up, and then we'll look through the question together. All right, so let's go ahead and see if we can answer this question. So right here, I'm going to add a text box beside each question. So again, just to read through the question, it says to me the price of a tablet is $699. There's a discount of 12% for cash payments. A, calculate the amount of the discount for cash payment. Well, they say they're going to take 12% off. So A, part I first need to know what 12% of $699 is. So I'm going to put into my calculator $699 times 12%. Let me bring that over a little. Times 12%. Once I calculate that, I determine that my discount is actually $83.88. And so I know a discount means that they're going to reduce my price or take that amount off. So when I'm paying cash, instead of paying $699, I actually end up paying a little bit less. So let's work on the second part of this question. My cash price is going to be $699, take away $83.88. When I work that out, I end up paying in cash $615.12. And so this store, they offered a discount for any person that came in with cash and wanted to just pay for their tablet outright. But for some persons, that won't always be an option. Let's see what happens if I have to go the hire purchase plan route. They say to me that the hire purchase plan requires a deposit of $175, and so that's how much I must pay as a deposit, $175, if I have to use the hire purchase plan. And then followed by 6 monthly payments of $106.60. So they say calculate the total amount of monthly payments. Well, if I pay, I'm going to add another text box down here. If I pay $106.60, $106.60 for a total of 6 months, my total monthly payments are going to be $639.60. So the next part of the question asks me to find the total hire purchase price. I know that hire purchase up to this point is going to be the deposit plus the monthly payments. So I can work that part out also. My deposit, and the question told me, was $175. So $175 plus my total monthly payments, which were $639.60. So in total, if I take the hire purchase route, I end up paying $814.60. We can automatically see if I look at the cash price, and this was my cash price, $615. I think I can underline it. My cash price was $615.12, whereas the higher purchase price was $814.60. I can automatically see that there's a good difference in the amount that I end up paying if I pay cash versus if I pay the higher purchase price. And so that's what the last question asked me. Calculate the amount that can be saved by paying cash. Well, I know the higher purchase price was more, so I'm going to start with that. $814.60. Take away the cash price. And I want you to pay attention, because when students look at this question, they might assume the cash price was $699, but that's not what the question said. Notice they said that the cash price came with a 12% discount. And so if I paid cash, I really ended up paying $615.12. And so my cash price was no longer $699. The cash price was in fact $615.12. And so if I take this route, I really end up paying $199.48. Right? So if you were able to complete this question, go ahead and give yourself a pat on the back. You did a good job. These are the type of questions that you can expect to see on the BGCSE exam when you do sit them. We have about 4 minutes. Well, we went over time. But if you do have any questions, feel free to post them in the Q&A section and I'll answer them quickly. But again, thank you so much to my panelists, Mrs. Brown Hall, Mr. Tinker. I also see I have a few other persons in there, Mr. Valentine, as well as my subject officer, Mrs. McPhee. Thank you so much for your input, everyone. For my attendees, next session, we're going to move on to wages and salaries. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning. Bye.
Hi, welcome to Grade 2 Math with Mrs. Farrington. And today we're going to be looking at addition of two-digit numbers without regrouping. Now you may remember that addition is when we join two sets together. We will hear words like sum. We're going to hear words like total, in all together. So what it means is I'm going to take this group of items, join it with this group of items to find out how many I have in all, or the total, or the sum. So we're going to look at some items that you're very familiar with. I went in the back of the yard and I got some. Anybody recognize these? They're cherries. So cherries are in season now. So our first problem is we're going to find out how many cherries there are altogether. We have two bowls, an orange bowl and a green bowl. But how many cherries do we have all together. Okay, so first I'm going to count the cherries in the orange bowl. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out, and we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So there are 21 cherries in the orange bowl. I will write the number 21, and 21 is written 2 tens and 1 1. So 21. Now I'm going to count the cherries in the green bowl. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I have 17 cherries in the green bowl. So now I'll write 17. 1 10, 7 ones. So I have 21 and 17. I'm writing a number sentence. So I'm setting up my number sentence. And I have to make sure that I write my addition sign to make my number sentence complete. So now I'm ready to add to find out how many there are in all in this particular set. So for step 1, I'm going to add the digits in the ones place. So I have 21 is 2 tens and 1 1. So that means the 1 is in the ones place. And 17, 1 10, 7 ones. The 7 is in the ones place. Now for some of us, we may need some help. So we draw our imaginary line to separate the tens from the ones. So step 1, I will add the digits in the ones place. 1 plus 7. 1 plus 7 is, I can use the count on method. I will start with the larger number 7, and then plus 1 is 8. So 1 plus 7 is 8. And then step 2, I'm going to add the digits in the tens place. So I have 2 tens plus 1 10. 2 plus 1 will give me 3. So my sum, or the total, is 38. If I wanted to check it, I will now combine or put them together, and I will count them to see if I was indeed correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. So I were correct. 21 plus 17 equals 38 in all, or all together, or the sum of 21 and 17 is 38. We're going to try it with something else. So that was our cherries. So here we have 2 sprigs of rosemary. Rosemary is an herb. You probably saw your mom cooking with it before. You maybe saw it on some roasted chicken or baked chicken and you didn't know what it was. And you probably pulled it out, but rosemary is very, very nice herb. Gives food a very good flavor. So we're going to count the sprigs on these. So going to start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So for my second number sentence, I have 3 10s, 2 1s, or 32. So there's 32 in here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. I'm not going to count this one. So in this bowl here, I have 2 10s, 6 1s, or 26. And then I make sure I put my addition sign. I'm going to draw my line. Bam! I've got my number sentence. And because some of us may need this, some of us don't, but it's just a reminder that we begin adding from the ones column. So in the ones column, I have 2 1s and 6 1s. So 2 plus 6. Now, if you do not know 2 plus 6 mentally quickly, I like to do triangles and circles. 2 triangles and 6 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 plus 6 equals 8. Now I'm going to add the digits. In the tens place, I have 3 10s and 2 1s. I will do 3 triangles and 2 circles. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 10s plus 2 10s equals 5 10s. So my sum or the total is 58. That means when I put these two together, I have 58 sprigs of rosemary. Now you may be wondering why I like to do triangles and circles. Because a lot of times what happens is, and I'm going to show you, sometimes what some students would do, not everybody does it, we will say 2, and then we want to do plus 6, then we go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And all we really did was we only drew enough for 1. So if we separate it, then we would know that there are 2 different digits that we're adding. So I like to do 2 different shapes. Now, we have one more to practice on. Boys, I am pretty sure you are going to love this. Marbles. I have 2 bowls of marbles. I couldn't leave them in the jar. So I have these 2 bowls of marbles, and I need to know how many these are. So Miko and Quay have marbles. Well, if Miko and Quay were to put their marbles together, how much marbles would they have? So let's see how many marbles Miko has. We're going to count Miko's marbles, and these are a lot of marbles. So I'm going to take them out first. And I'm going to use one of these braids because I don't want to drop his marbles. You know, marbles are very important to boys. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. Miko has a whopping 47 marbles. Miko has a lot of marbles. So let's see how many marbles Quay has. So we're going to count Jaquay's marbles. And Jaquay has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. Okay, so Jaquay has 42. So now we're going to combine, that's another word for put together, by adding just so I remember that I must begin adding from the ones column. And also notice that when I write my numbers, they are lined up underneath each other. So I'm going to be adding 7 ones plus 2 ones. And 7 plus 2 would give us, so I'm going to use the count on method. So I go 7, 8, 9. So 7 plus 2 equals 9. And then step 2, I will now add the digits in the tens column. And the digit in the tens column are 4 and 4. So we have doubles. And 4 plus 4 will equal 8. So when we combine Miko and Quay's marbles, all together we have 89 marbles. So just to recap, when we are adding, it means that we are putting numbers or objects together. And when we are adding, we write what we call an addition number sentence. This is a number sentence. We make sure that we add the digits from the ones column first. And then we add the digits in the tens column. But what do we call these? They're not just digits. In addition, these are called addends. They're called addends. The numbers that you add together are called addends. And the answer that you get is the sum. And only in addition do you get a sum. So you add the addends and then you get a sum. And the addends and the sum and the addition sign and also the equal sign is called an addition number sentence. So I hope you enjoyed and learned something from this practice. Please make sure that you practice with the activities that we have provided. Continue to be safe, and we will have a chat next time. So stay safe out there. This has been Math for Grade 2 with Mrs. Farrington. Take care.